Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on issue 10 of Ultimate Fantastic Four. Now, as you know, we are on part 4 of the Doctor Doom arc, and now let's get on with the story. It starts off after the events of issue 9. We see how after doing a lot of tinkering, Reed's come to the conclusion that this was Victor Von Dean's work, and we see how Ultimate Dr. Storm says, "What you've got, Reed? Please, I'm thinking. You've been thinking for 12 hours. Now you're going to talk to me." And we do see how basically Ultimate Doctor Storm points out to Ultimate Reed that he's always more thinking inside the box and needs time to kind of take a break. And we see how Ultimate Reed comes to the whole conclusion that Ultimate Victor Von Dean had made these sort of parts from his sort of work. And we see how he comes to the conclusion that he thinks he might have been changed, but he also assumed that the others like Johnny, Sue and Nat didn't. And this is where they realise that he's now in Denmark, and the fact that he has the codes for the end zone, they realise this is an opportunity to get him before it kind of gets lost. And we see how Ultimate Dr. Storm points out to Ultimate Reed they can't really risk going into Denmark, and the fact that, yeah, they can't really put the others in danger. But we see how Ultimate Reed gets annoyed and angry, but we even see how he kind of decides to kind of play basically freelance hero to try and get him back. And we see how in Denmark, in Ultimate Doctor Doom's community, we see how, yeah, a new member known as Danny's brought in, and we see him saying, "Hamja, yes, sit him down. This is weird. Relax, it's just his way." And we see how Ultimate Doctor Doom plants his sort of special tattoo. And obviously this is clear, this is kind of like a brainwashing gimmick to make him part of his new community. And after doing some investigation, we see how Ultimate Doctor Doom realizes that the others have got changed and gets so annoyed that he ends up attacking Danny. And we see how Ultimate Reed and the others decide to kind of use Reed's new invention that he built when he was 13, and even talks about, yeah, his issues with his parents, and even says how, yeah, their folks basically, his folks barely talk to him and that, and even says sometimes it was okay, but sometimes when they just wanted to get off the phone or... Again, Ultimate Reed did this all to himself. All he had to have done was see things from his dad's perspective, and everything would have been fine. But of course, Ultimate Reed was just too focused outside the box, than thinking things from other people's perspective. And he even introduces the Fantastic Car, and we kind of see how even, yeah, Ultimate Johnny and Ultimate Ben joke about it, and even talking about how lame the name was, despite ultimately making a point that he was only 13 when he came up with the name. And we even see how they have to decide to kind of use the device to try and get Ultimate Doctor Doom back, knowing this is a big opportunity. And we see how after kind of coming to the conclusion, they decide to kind of use it to get Doctor Doom back, and even Ultimate Ben points out that he has the codes, he can get back to normal, and says, "It's clobbering time." It's what? Something my coach used to say before a big game. Fantastic cobbling. And we see how after, yeah, Ultimate Doctor Doom realizes they're gonna come for him, we see how all the team members get ready. Obviously, Ultimate Johnny Storm pointing out that, did he ever test it? No, he didn't. But of course, he realizes that this is a big opportunity, and that they could use it to kind of get to Denmark in Mark 7. And of course, the top of the Bax building opens, and the Fantastic Car flies off. And we see him saying, "Clear of the building, main engine start, and flies off. And this is where Ultimate Doctor Doom will come face to face with not only Ultimate Reed, but Sue, Johnny, and Ben. And this is the story. So I think issue 10 is kind of okay. This really just shows you the difference between Ultimate Reed and Ultimate Doctor Doom. Ultimate Reed will eventually become his own worst enemy and his own villain arc. Again, the issues and stories of Ultimate Fantastic Four gives you early hints that Ultimate Reed is slowly going to become his own main villain. While Ultimate Doctor Doom already was, and was meant to be a dark reflection of Reed, given their similar upbringings, how their parents behaved and acted, and what path they would have taken. It's not a bad issue, but it definitely deserves a thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, kind of okay, but still enjoyable, just updating things from the Fantastic Four stories from the main comics. So, comic reviewer here, signing out.